Hello everybody and welcome back to La-Mulana. We've reached a point in the LP that I've been dreading on doing. Namely, the Chamber of Birth. But before we actually go to the Chamber of Birth, I have to do a couple more things to actually unlock stuff in the Chamber of Birth. Now, that tablet above the Holy Grail tablet in Temple of the Goddess says, to the left is birth, to the right is death. But we're at the Gate of Illusion. Now, the thing is, this area sets up for stuff to do. It sets up for puzzles to be opened in the Chamber of Birth, so naturally we need to do stuff here. This is a puzzle game after all. Also, a bit of a warning, at this point in recording, I pretty much kind of started to blitz through the game mainly because I realized I could beat this in 10 hours while hammering out the LP, so if you need any more explanations, just let me know in the comments. Now, in the terms of the Chamber of Birth puzzles, these three tablets are integral to the actual opening of the area. So naturally, it would behoove us to save them. These may seem like really weird riddles, but we've seen at least 2 of the 3 as we run through Gate of Illusion anyways, we just don't know it yet. Namely, that diamond shape is a dead giveaway. And we just passed this one. Now, last update we used the grenades to get the Lamp of Time because we need the Lamp of Time for this puzzle specifically. The puzzle states that we have to break all blocks at the same time, more or less. But the only way to do that is to actually have both the Lamp of Time to destroy everything at once, and to have the ring in order to break pots in one hit. Now, you don't absolutely need the ring in order to break pots in one hit. It just makes the puzzle a lot easier. When you have the ring, it's a lot easier to do this, but when you don't have the ring, you need to hit each pot 2 times, then time stop, and then kill every pot before we can finish this puzzle. What a devious thing to have, especially when people don't think about the unsolvable puzzle in Twin Labyrinths. Now, where did this clown come from? Hey, look at this. Because we solved that pot puzzle, a dais appears. But we'll figure out what this dais does later. I need to refill my Lamp of Time. Now, you probably won't see me actually do it unless you have really good eyes, but if I ever Holy Grailed to the Tower of Ruin, I'm effectively refilling my time stop. It's the same reason why I teleport to the surface yet appear somewhere else with full health. Now, luckily, this puzzle's a lot easier. It's not much, just murder someone. However, we're also gonna see why the Lamp of Time is pretty much the best item in the game. You're gonna love this. Now, normally this is a very tricky fight because you have to chase around a bird on these platforms, but if you're smart, easy peasy. Now, don't worry about those coins, you were never gonna get them anyways. But all mid-bosses are susceptible to the Lamp of Time. So if you're having trouble, just, you know, be cheap. It's not that hard. Now we've done 2 of the 3 puzzles for that chest beneath the light gates, but there's still one more. Remember that crack of light from before? Well, that lizard wasn't here before. So basically the idea is you have to kite the lizard into a pillar of light. Now that sounds easy, but when I was doing a re-recording for reasons we'll see later in the LP, and what just happened, the brick killed the lizard. The lizard's very RNG dependent, so it gets frustrating. And it doesn't respawn unless you get out of the area, so we just have to wait. Now there are ways where you can manipulate the lizard into doing your bidding. Like when I was doing this thing, he always fell low, luckily. And if you don't want him to go up a ladder, just kind of bait him. My RNG is high in this recording though, so we lucked out. Now we get to see what solving those 3 puzzles gets us. Now, I believe when we did the Tower of the Goddess video, we talked to the Stray Fairy before, and she said the power to bring life is sealed in this area. So, being the Tomb Raider we are, let's break those seals. Because this is a good idea. This place gives birth to evil life. That's interesting. Why would they call it evil life? And I believe the Stray Fairy just passed on. Sorry, girl. And naturally, I had to scan any tablets we see, so... And of course, we get the Cog of the Soul. This is a usable item, so naturally we had to find places with the cog shape and use the item. But what is it using it do here? Uh-oh. So we've just created an endless spawn of enemies. Why would we do that? I don't know, but let's talk to Zelput about it. Forbidden art? Subtle clues, Zelput, subtle clues. But now that we've brought life, well, got the ability to bring life, let's actually go somewhere with life. Now, I didn't show it when we were in Tower of the Goddess video, but this is the path to the Chamber of Life. But of course, I want a time stop. Give me that time stop. These wizards are ass clowns. Ah, my butt! Here we go. The Chamber of Birth. Now, if you thought the the Gate of Illusion was crazy, oh man. This place will ruin your mind. And the best part is we're only covering the first half of it. Oh man. Now, first off, we got these giant elephant things. Now, something in the Chamber of Extinction said elephants are sacred, and a lot of elephant statues punish you in these areas, but... Oh, what the... Oh yeah, that's just a mirror showing us stuff. But yeah, those things technically aren't elephants. They're called behemoths, so you could fight those no problem. If you could tank them out, that is. But man, this place is fucking miserable. There's so much shit going on at once. And here's probably the area I hate the most. The God who sustains the world. That's a very important clue. It's a good thing I recorded it, as this giant sword comes out of nowhere and takes 150 of my life, even with the damn half damage armor. This area is nuts, especially when that thing comes out of the ground. And ninjas are flying everywhere trying to throw you into obstacles. This place is just outright crazy. And for those of you that haven't watched lower videos, that's a Sephiroth, aka the Tree of Life in Old Jewish Testament. I just now got what that tablet means. But that'll be shown at the end of the video, which makes it all the more funnier. Now from the graveyard of the giants, this is the farthest you could go in Chamber of Birth. There's one other entrance, but it takes a bit of, you know, walking. And there's something really important I want to get here too. Now we brought life to these clay golems, but they're really a benign threat. They just kind of walk around and goof around. They don't do much, but they do tend to get in your way. Also, what's that noise? It seems like this pillar is about to fall over. But we'll check that out later. First off, I'm gonna go over here. This is big. If I could just, you know, get up there. This is another one of the reasons why Chamber of Birth is so terrible. It's designed in a way that if you mess up, you're gonna be repeating a lot of platforming. The guy who sustains the world, huh? Well, since we're the academic sort, let's get kicked off a cliff. I'm trying really hard to scan this. Why is everybody interrupting me? Vishnu, supreme god that sustains the world. Now it's probably hard to see in this video because it's so small, but his right arm holds a shell, though we'll see that later. Now it's hard to tell, but that is a sacred object. But also that's a mural to Shiva. I'm pretty sure if you go to the map select screen, you'll see that, but we don't have the map for this level yet. And that tablet just tells us outright that Palenque sleeps in that mural. So do we wanna mess with that? Now I'm trying to be really careful here because I got punished, but there's one block that didn't punish me. What in the world? Yeah, if you have a keen eye, you can see that ow. Oops. Never use an axe in the Shiva mural. Now, as I was trying to say before, it's hard to tell in this video, but that mural of Vishnu has a shell in its left arm, and it's pointing to that thing. Now, what exactly did that do, aside from light up that strangely familiar square? I'm sure we'll figure that later as I get kicked off a cliff again. God damn it. I just want to solve puzzles. Come on, Chamber of Birth. Vishnu beheaded Asura with a weapon like a ring of light. Interesting stories. Ow. This is one area where your shield is going to be very important. Remember, kids, R1 plus a shield will save your life, if this was Dark Souls. But in La-Mulana, a shield is pretty important too. Well, let's see if I could actually, you know, break that block without dying. The problem with trying to break that block is that behemoth is a real pain in the ass. And it's hard to tell, but if you do a front end attack, he blocks it. Whatever. Let's stab at it. Another thing that's hard to tell about that is that you can see teleporters in-game, but due to video compression, it's hard to see in the recordings. Which leads me to say that Chamber of Birth is a test of visual acuity. And you'll see that in the next video, in spades. Oops. Also, that behemoth down in the mural is really hyper. Look at him go. Now there's a statue to the left there, but I'm not gonna mess with it, because, spoiler alert, that's an instant death trap. However, I'm really curious about that pillar. Can't break it, but if you move near it, it makes a sound, so what if we stay there? Oh. Oh my goodness. Now this puzzle is insidious because the clue for it is in the other half of the Chamber of Birth. So you need to go there first before you actually know about it. However, I cheat with Steam. So they say courage will bring us to the woman. Are we courageous? Nah, we're just cheaters. I believe there's one tablet that states that something is hidden in a skeleton as well, but I could never find it, so you'll have to take that on good faith. Also, an interesting bit of trivia. In the original, creation of La-Mulana, this area was supposed to be where Lemaise's daughter saves him from death. But that got cut due to time constraints. Also, we got the woman statue. Also, why am I being fancy here? I need to get out of here. This place is awful. We got a woman-shaped doll. Zelpa, no. No, please. So, the main theme of Temple of the Sun and Moon is the man and woman, and fertility and blah blah blah. However, now that we have the doll, the woman's doll, we could solve one very important puzzle here. Also, Mulbrook, you're not going to sleep. What are you doing? Yes, we want to know about Indian culture. This is great. Now this is a really weird and subtle clue. You would think, oh yeah, I could learn about them if I scan, but there is a puzzle that requires you to scan stuff. Now here's the important puzzle. Make sure that woman is with child and stuff. I read way too fast to narrate. Sorry guys, still have to pause the video there. More stories about La-Mulana. I figure I might as well keep it in this time, but I'll cover most of the stuff in the lore video, so don't worry about that. Oops. Sorry, winged people. You don't piss off your parents. And now that she's repeating text, we could just, ignore her for now. Come on, Mulbrook. Give me something new to work with. Now, Mulbrook said make sure that the woman is with child. Now, naturally, for a woman to get knocked up, you need a man. And if you remember from the Temple of the Sun video, we've seen the map where it says this is the area of the man. And oh my goodness, what is all of this? I'm not sure I'm entirely okay with this. However, there's something a grenade here. Well, I'm feeling reckless. It's grenade stuff. Ugh. Whee! It takes 3 grenades to open that chest, man. But we get a lot of money. Also, we got the Maternity Statue? Okay. If you couldn't tell by the video, those are supposed to be spectral sperm. Yeah. Ah, smart Zelpud. You're a smart man. But now that we have the woman with child, we need to solve one final important puzzle. And for that, we need to go here. Now, one thing's been bugging me for the longest time. What is that? That looks strangely familiar. Woman with a large stomach. Oh, okay. Much like the Cog of Life, the Maternity Statue is another key item that you use in spots like that. And now the all-important clue. The most simplest clue out there, but we could never figure it out. Sleep within the woman. And pro tip, that's not a bullhorn. That's a uterus. So let's kinda take a slight nap. I always like this puzzle because it's the one puzzle that actively requires you to use the pause screen. And we had the Philosopher's Ocarina. Now from here on out, there's gonna be a lot of context, and I mean a lot of context. So I'm gonna try to be silent throughout all the Philosopher's videos, or the Philosopher text. Speaking of philosophers, there's one right here. Let's go chat with friends. Well, that's interesting. Throughout the entire game, we haven't had any plot whatsoever, and now we're committing matricide. There has to be an alternate solution, right? Let's ask Mulbrook. Oh, that's almost sad to hear. Well, Mulbrook doesn't have answers. She's just gonna tell us the same story all over again. Ah. Now the next philosopher is luckily nearby. Now, a long time ago, we saw that stone statue here in Spring in the Sky. That was a philosopher area. But there's also one last puzzle that we never solved here, and it took me the longest time to remember this. We just gotta take a slight elevator ride. Yeah, I never popped that seal for that treasure chest. Whoops. Ooh, life orb. Those are always nice. Ah, the Philosopher of Wisdom. Let's hear his words of wisdom. Man, things are getting a lot heated. Not only do we have our grand ultimate task laid out for us, we have the hardest puzzle in the game to work with. We don't even have any of the things that the Philosopher mentioned, which makes things a little tough to work with. Let's go find that last Philosopher. Whoops, my butt! No! Now the final Philosopher is here. The Philosopher of Power. What does he have for us? Oh my, what's this? Well, spoiler alert, this is the puzzle that one of my friends from the past video in Tower of the Goddess was gloating about. I'll cover that next update. Now, a bit of a spoiler alert, this puzzle is very daunting, spans the entire game, and can only be done once. You screw it up and you're done, so we'll save that for another time when I'm better prepared. Now, he mentioned that Gitorio's path has been opened, but I don't know who that is. Well, we know who that is. We just don't know where his path is. Until now. Now, if you had keen eyes, you would have noticed that when we were doing the Endless Corridor, one of the many Philosopher paths was there as well. We just couldn't access it. There we go. Now, finding the Philosophers is one of the key ways, or the key methods to progress the game. Not method. One of the key plot elements to progress the game. And this is the reason why. Gitorio blocks a path here. If you don't meet him and talk with him, you don't get to get access to this puzzle. And while not a very hard puzzle, it's important for two reasons. One, This tablet not only completes the translation software, but it also gives you the final hint of the game. Look to the weapon in thy hand. The key to awakening lies within. And secondly, of course, there's a treasure here. It's the Death Seal. We finally achieved the last one. We can unlock everything now. There's so much we could get with it. But let's get an item here. Now again, if you have keen eyes, there's a Philosopher's path here. Unfortunately, none of the ones that we've met unlock this path. And I was a little confused, to say the least. So let's get the other thing here. Yep. It's the 4 seals I didn't break in the Shrine of the Mother video, because I am very particular about that kind of stuff. It would bug me if we popped 3 and didn't do the 4th one for the longest time. And by doing that, we get another life orb. Another life orb. But there's more death seals about. In fact, I'm pretty sure you guys have forgotten this one. If I could get there. Yeah, that one. For the longest time, I could never figure out how to get to that seal. Whoops, something's blocking it. Damn foreground effects. Oh, it's a shop. Now this shop is interesting because it has the cheapest handgun ammo in the game along with the cheapest grenades in the game. But the handgun ammo will only get you 6 bullets and the grenades I only think give you 5? I'm not quite sure. All I know is that while it's cheap, it's not exactly financially plausible. I'm just trying to remember where the other death seals are. Now while this ain't a death seal, remember that puzzle with Vishnu? Now when we first unlocked that puzzle for the birth seal, it showed an invisible puzzle, or an invisible seal I should say. Now that we solved the puzzle of Vishnu, we can navigate the invisible maze again and pop the seal again. My goodness, what is that? Oh, lights are out. Now that giant thing is pretty great, because once you hit that, you never have to worry about lights in here again. This place is permanently on. And there's also one last puzzle we gotta do. I think. Ah yes, this is the clue that reveals the need for the map software in order to solve Shrine of the Mother. Ah, damn wall masters. They're everywhere. That'd be an interesting thing to see in La-Mulana too, something like the wall masters that just take you outside the ruins to be a total douche. Oh wow, what? When did I do this puzzle? A strange hole. Unfortunately, we don't have that item. So we'll have to save it for next video. Also, I forgot one puzzle. Now this may seem odd because this is actually recorded on hard mode. My video for this puzzle got corrupted. But the reason why we had to activate the Mudmen is simple. There's a thing up in that top right corner. Now, there's no possible way for Lameza to get there, but the Mudmen can activate it. Sadly, I think that's the only reason you activate the Mudmen.